What it do, what it do, what it do, good people, what it do. It is your girl Empress. And yes, we have made it back one more week from the last time we were together, exchanging our positive energy, right? That ebb and flow. You know how it go. What? I'm rhyming. But anyway, as you come on in, please, by all means, show me some love. Give me a high five by hitting that like button. That's what I need to get this video out to the YouTube masses, so we can continue to grow our community, our place that we call home here. Um, let's get right into it. We're still in the trigger series, okay? But I always get a spin on things. So we're gonna get into it. However, first and foremost, I hope that when you woke up this morning, when your eyes popped open, that the first thing you did was thank God. You know why? Because He gave you the gift of life. And to me, that's the best present ever. Why? Because that's an indicator that you're supposed to be here. That's an indicator letting you know that you have what it takes to make it throughout this day. Yeah, we might not know what the day is holding for us, but guess what? We're here, and it is our job to make the best of it. So, hopefully, you have not, by the time you watch this video, that you haven't gotten any arguments, any disagreements, thought negatively, and for those getting up to go to work, trust me, I understand, especially if you've been having a good sleep and then that alarm clock goes off. Sometimes it's just like, ugh. However, if you did, have a moment of humanist, a humanistic moment, by all means, combat that right now and just tell God, your higher power, whoever you resonate with, just say thank you. You know, go throughout today with a grateful heart instead of saying and recognizing everything that could go wrong, possibly go wrong, maybe even is currently going wrong. But there is always something that is going right. And if you're watching this video, guess what? We in the right ebb and flow right here. So, just take this moment, do a deep breath, and just tell God, man, I thank you. So, moving right along, it's Thankful Thursday. Come on. Nobody's been putting down in the comments what they're thankful for. Yes, I'm sure you're saying it and acknowledging what you're grateful for, but sound off in the comment section. Let me know what you're thankful for. And you already know. No, don't hit me with I'm thankful for my house, my car, my cat, my dog, my fish, whatever. I want you to dig deep. Dig deep and let me know what you're grateful for. And I was thinking today, what am I grateful for? And when I was getting ready for work, you know what? I am grateful for having arms and hands because I was going along fixing my tea this morning and not even really thinking about it. It's become routine to me. I'm just gonna get up. I'm gonna get my ingredients or what have you, and I'm just gonna make my tea, and then I'm gonna be off to work. But I had to stop and think and say, you know what? Let me be grateful and thankful for my arms because some people, unfortunately, were not born with any. Some, have lost limbs throughout their life, with various situations or what have you. But God has blessed me with my arms and my hands, and I'm able to do things, second nature, not even really thinking about it. I'm reaching out and I'm picking up things, and it's just something that I do. But I have to really take this moment and say, you know what, God, I am thankful. I'm thankful for my fingers. I'm thankful for everything connected because for the simple fact, it's people, unfortunately, that will either never give a hug or never be able to give a hug, receive a hug, Some people might not even know what a real embrace feels like because they're not able to, participate in bringing that other individual close. So that's what I'm grateful for. I am grateful for having my arms, and both of them are fully functional, and my wrists, I have fingers, I have feelings, I have everything in these two extremities. They work, and that is what I'm grateful for. So go ahead and let me know what you're grateful for in the comment section. Get the conversation started. um and so, you know me, this is still the trigger series. This is going to be episode 4. And first, I want to thank the family member. My God, I keep getting it wrong. I think it's MCPO Gaming. Um, I need to write it down. If I am getting that wrong, I sincerely apologize. But I do want to thank you for your comment. I did respond. Thank you for getting the conversation started. And by all means, if you need some more feedback, or want to keep the conversation going, and this is to the other family members as well. In the last video, get go ahead and chime in, because this is what I envision for this environment, for this channel, for us to be able to help one another heal. Just like I said in my last video, even though it's the whole thing, hurt people, how come healed people can't heal or help heal other people? And so that's what ultimately I want this channel to be about, that free space where it's a real non-judgment zone. Why? Because there are people out here that don't have the inner circle, the community, where they can bounce ideas off of and get some sound advice, and which I would hope would be sound advice from people just like themselves. Um, anywho we are going to, I think a couple of videos back, I was telling you that, I have some things that I read and other things that help me, do away with the lower vibrational parts of my life that I've accumulated over my lifetime, as everybody has. And so that's the whole thing. Yes, it did start out with the Will Smith and Chris Rock fiasco. However, I did feel that it was important to talk about, the things that trigger us and our responses or our reactions, to say the least. Um, Talk about how those things affect us and what we can do to start healing those parts of ourselves so we can become the better versions of ourselves. And when we become the better version of ourselves and we're operating within the alignment of our purpose, then our environment subsequently, prayerfully, will be changed as well. So today we're going to talk about when the trigger has happened, the after effects, the emotions that follow. And I don't know how many videos or what have you that I'm gonna go with this, but I felt it important today to talk about when you are triggered. And one of the things that keep that part of you from not properly healing is the fearfulness. And when the trigger happens, and this is just my interpretation, hopefully you can feel me. When a trigger happens and it has moved on, however, now that that thing has happened, we live in a state of anticipation, and not in a, I mean, of course, a trigger is not, it produces negative emotions. But now, being that that trigger has resurfaced, and then, we had to do whatever it is that we do to level out, And now we're living in fear that this trigger is going to continually get, that button is going to continually get pushed. And so that puts us in a vibration, a low vibration on top of that, of being fearful. And you are, that has now created a moment in which you're trapped, basically. And because that trigger has resurfaced in some way, you think that, oh man, here we go. Here we go with this again. And when you're done away with it, then you're moving on through life, but you're moving very cautious, like very suspicious, very almost paranoid that it's going to happen. But as I have been trying to stress, if you are putting out that vibration, you are calling that trigger back to you. So let's just say, for instance, um we may call it, or some people may call it, jinxing. So you say something to someone and they say, man, don't jinx that, don't jinx that, don't say it. And I when it comes to low vibrational conversation, I have to swoop in, especially if I'm earshot or it's dealing with the content of my conversation or whatever have you. I make it a point. Hey, we got to knock that off. We got to turn that around. So identifying the feelings that occur when you have been triggered, being fearful, looking at people suspect, like I know if so and so did it to me, then you're gonna do it to me. And if we have that type of mindset, we are putting up walls and limiting ourselves on having authentic relationships with people, because this barrier, this fearful barrier, has now been created. And I'm not saying that you have to throw caution to the wind. However, one thing we do have to realize is that this fear is based off of past hurts. This new person, this new environment had nothing to do with that past situation. So in order for us to really take advantage of the true beauty that this present environment, this present relationship, this present job, business, whatever the case, whatever it is at your present right now, you forfeit seeing the true beauty of it by living in a fearful state. Now, the card says fearful, a learned behavior that can be unlearned. Let me just say that again. Fearful, a learned behavior that can be unlearned. Also, a low vibrating feeling that creates limitations for you and future happiness. That just coincides to what I'm saying. It's this fear that is crippling you, that is, handicapping you. It's taking you out of alignment with who you are to be on this earth. By allowing this fearful mentality to overrule you, you have now become a slave to that situation in the past, to those emotions. It's like you just, nope, I'm gonna stick them in my, you go get in the shower, you put on clean clothes, but then you go get that dirty situation and you put it in your pockets. That's what it looks like. Come on, man. That's not how we do it. You cannot live in a fearful mentality and expect your life to blossom in the way in which you want it to blossom. Why? Because Like attracts like. That vibration that you're sending out, that suspect, that paranoia, you always thinking that anybody around you, oh, they're going to repeat that. And if they do somewhat touch that trigger button, you got to get to the point where you have healed or in the process of healing. That way, if it is that trigger is brushed upon, that you'll be able to respond instead of react. And it's almost like I'm sounding like a broken record, but this is what it is. Repetition, practice makes perfect, right? So if you continue to hear these things, hopefully that you will develop the confidence, if you don't already have it, to understand that you can look these triggers in the face, dead in the face, and say no more. Will I allow these triggers to you can't say that you're going to prevent them from ever being brushed upon, but what you can do is say, you know what, I'm going to heal to the point where if and when this comes up, the intensity is not going to be so severe that it causes me to do something that is going to create a domino effect in the opposite of in the opposite direction of it benefiting you in the long run. So once again, this fearful mentality that you're having, it's a learned behavior. Learned why? Because that past situation brought upon feelings that were contrary to how you wanted to feel. And unfortunately, the reason why it is still triggering you in the severity that it is because that area of your life has not had the proper healing. It just hasn't. We just go on through life, and then, depending on whether or not we've taken the time to correct these situations, then we're going to do nothing but react. We have to do the inner work. The inner work is the new sexy. And I hope you out there strutting your stuff. Why? Because you're taking the time to identify what is, in the contrast, what's negative, what's low vibrational, and choosing, because it's all a choice, on whether you stay there. It's a choice on whether you say to yourself, you know what, enough is enough. Like this card says, it's a learned behavior, which can be unlearned. You just have to say to yourself, this is it. I'm going to unravel, take that little piece of string out the hem, and undo, that which is trying to become who you are. That's not even your MO. These triggers are not even who you are as a person. So why would you continue to allow them to define you, giving them the opportunity to bring and to bring you down and make you react outside of your character? We have to be done with be done with this fearful mentality, because not everybody is looking to hurt you. Not everybody is looking to do things that are against you. It's just some things, like I was saying in a couple of videos ago, the way I'm choosing to look at unfavorable situations in my life, if you want to call them problems, it's an opportunity for me to grow. Now, when things happen, I can take a deep breath. I can step back and at least come to the best possible solution on me moving forward. Because me reacting, trust me, I have bumped my head enough, okay? And I'm not trying to repeat the behaviors. Why? Because, like I keep saying, sometimes when you react, you don't get a second chance, unfortunately. But fortunately, there are times where, the receiving party or your environment is willing to work it out. I'm a person that I am willing to work things out, to the best of my ability. Yes, I am still, a spirit in this body having an earthly experience. However, I still need time to process. I need time to process. I have really, I can pat myself on the back and know that I have done the work and I'm continue to do the work because I've seen how it has benefited me to take away, the lenses, these fearful glasses, or whatever feelings that come up when I've been triggered or I've been reminded of something that, I didn't want to be reminded of. I am able to pull back. And it is something that if I know that I can do it, it took it took work. Don't get me wrong. I didn't just snap my fingers overnight and say, you know what? I'm I'm never gonna be like this anymore. First of all, they say never, but if this is a behavior that you want to choose, you're choosing to change, then you're gonna have to put the work in. But the more you don't put in the work, I was looking at a meme. I should have wrote it down. It was saying something to the effect. Um, it showed a stick figure or whatever going trying to, on a staircase, and he just wasn't moving. He wasn't getting active. He wasn't walking up or whatever. And the caption was, it was so hard. The person was thinking that it was so hard to take the next step. But what's even harder is that, God willing, the next year he'll still be at that level, that first level. He would have never moved. So, one thing I did want to say is that change is hard. It's difficult. But what's even harder is staying in that same vibration. Now, and I can speak for myself, there was a long period of time when I was dealing with depression, um, that it just seemed like time was passing and I was still in the same place. And I did not advance until my mentality shifted, until I got my mind right. Okay. So your thoughts eventually become your reality. Why? Because that vibration is sent out into the ethers, into the universe, and it is, giving you exactly what you asked for. So if you are going around all day, every day, like there is a dark, rainy cloud over you, you're just going to keep vibrationally calling back these things to you. Just like this card says, a learned behavior that can be unlearned, also a low vibrating feeling that creates limitations for you and your future happiness. It's going to disrupt everything. Why would you continue to involve yourself? And when I say involve yourself, is continue these thought patterns that is going to keep calling these things that you do not want in your life. It's going to take work. But if you don't do the work, you're going to be just like that meme that I saw today. You're just going to be standing in the same place, not advancing. And that right there, that hurts the worst. Looking back over your life and not seeing the movement that that you could have taken, but because you were so stuck in your head, being fearful, you know, causing those situations and events to, what do I want to say? It reinforces, that's the word I'm looking for. It reinforces the fearful nature that you got going on within your soul. So in order for you to change that, you got to say, as of right now, I'm done with feeling like this. And guess what? You can We all have free will. You can choose to change. Don't be resistant. And trust me when I tell you, I have been in those shoes. And now you can't pay me to be resistant. I try to live, um, like I was saying in my last video, Abraham Hicks, she talks about living in an allowing vibration. That means that, I'm sending out the positive and I'm allowing that to go out. Yeah, you can live in an allowing vibration and you can send that negativity out, but then you're allowing that negativity to come right on back like a boomerang. I'm only sending out that which I want back. And for that which comes that I didn't have nothing to do with, that I end up being an innocent bystander from, I try to make sure that I stay grounded to the point where I can see it and make my proper adjustments before I respond and not react. Get out of this fearful mentality. It don't look good. All it is limiting your present, and it is limiting your future happiness. And you deserve so much more. So I'm going to wrap it up with that. At the end of all of this, I really want you to ask yourself this question: how is your soul doing? How are you feeling right this moment? And if you would like to share, drop it in the comments. Let's talk about it. If you want to be anonymous, my email, iamstayingonpoint@gmail.com, going down in the banner that's going across the bottom of the video. But it'll be in the description box. But I am so serious. Why? Because we have to do away with these emotions that are tied to our ability to properly heal, which is creating more disruption, more division in our lives. And we deserve so much better than that. You deserve better than that. I deserve better than that. And we can get to the other side if we so choose. We all have free will. We just got to do the inner work. Trust me when I tell you, happiness is for the taking. It's just you have to use those arms, reach out and take it. Instead of reaching out physically, you can subliminally, you can vibrationally send that out and get that back in return if you so choose. Be mindful of the vibrations that you send out. They're very powerful. The words you speak to yourself, that, all the negative self-talk, I talk about that all the time. Why? Because that's a vibration. And, it's like the universe is your waiter. And the things that, you say to yourself, the universe is delivering. So what do you want delivered to you? You want that positive? You want that high vibration? Or do you want that negative, that low vibration? You remember the canvas? What are you putting on your canvas? What colors are you using? Are you using color? Hopefully, if you are, it's a vibrant picture that you have painted by your own hand, not letting situations from your past to dictate what goes on your canvas. Okay? Life is a movement. I implore you to get in traffic, do the inner work. It's so sexy, trust me. And your body, your mental state, your soul, your vibrational level, it will thank you for doing the work. So until then, it's Thankful Thursday. Don't forget, drop a what it do. Let me know that you come in. We've exchanged this energy, got on this ebb and flow. And if you haven't done so already, please hit the like button for this YouTube algorithm. For all of you guys returning, I appreciate you. What it do. And if you are new here, I am your girl Empress. This is our environment that we are cultivating together. And I am so glad to have you here. If you haven't done so already, share with your family, friends, coworkers, whomever. Subscribe so you can get the latest content. And until then, you guys, peace.